Hey everyone, I just want to do this quick one today about how I kind of knew about how Fallout 76 was going to be a bad game. And this is just going to be a personal story. There's no really reporting into this or insight. I just wanted to tell this story so you can also have a little more how to tell by just by common sense how to tell if a game's going to be good or bad or whatever. So a long time ago, when I had my PS3, I borrowed Skyrim from a friend, and I stopped playing it after a year because it kept shutting down in the middle of quests, and then whenever I go on like 2 hours of quests, and autosave was still, it said it autosaved, so but then it autosaved back hours ago, so I'm like, this is not worth it. I have to save every time I go outside. This doesn't really seem worth it. So I quit. Now, I hear on PC it's a little bit better because of mods and a better system, but even so, I still saw players like suddenly would drop out. I'm like, why on a much superior platform is it still dropping out? And so I thought about getting a PS4 version because I thought they would have, fixed those things, but no, apparently not, because there was this Bethesda, another friend who was a Bethesda fan, like loved all their games, and said like, no, it's still just as bad. I'm like, then I'm not gonna buy it. It's not gonna happen. And then Fallout 4 came out, and I saw Let's Players playing it consistently, but there was something about it I didn't like. Is that the quests and all that stuff they were doing didn't seem like my cup of tea. And so I started asking around on like on social media about Fallout 4. Does it and my Bethesda friend does it quit as often as Skyrim? Like no, but it still does quit sometimes, and sometimes it just does whatever it wants. So I was like, okay. So after all of that, I hear in what 2018 or so, in the beginning of 2018 or E3. It was an E3 somewhere between then. I don't quite remember, but they were talking about Fallout 76, and I said like, "What's Fallout 76?" And I learned about it, and it was just a online version of Fallout 4. It's pretty much what I saw from trailers and E3 and all that stuff. And I'm like, that's not going to end well because they can barely do offline stuff. And don't forget that they had when the Elder Scrolls Online came out, it was a terrible, it was a terrible game. Like quests were incomplete. They had NPCs. They promised so much, and it didn't deliver when it came out. And it was a subscription based. And they want to do that with Fallout series when they already had a good Fallout Shelter on mobile, mobile. And I'm like, that game works fine. But this is a entirely different beast. Not only that, they wanted NPCs to not exist. I think they did that to save memory. But and then they expected people to build, and I'm like, that's not gonna work, guys. And there are people excited about this game. And I'm like, why? Why? Like it's just something clicked in my head. Like, because I saw from past games offline that they were failing all the time at certain points. So when Fallout 76 came out, it turns out to be bad. You don't have to, you know, be a genius to figure it out. But there are people still surprised that this happened. And like, maybe I was a bit surprised myself because I didn't know it'd be that bad of a botch release. But still, and then a year later they come up with NPCs. I'm like, no, you're a year too late, and then you pass $100 for a season pass. I'm like, no, you've Bethesda, you've gone too far, and especially when Todd Howard came out and said people will buy it anyway, and he was half right. Because I think we have way too many reviewers to just buy games outright, and then to tell people about that they can make their money off those guys. So, but still, it's like, how'd you guys not see this coming? Like, I don't care if you're Bethesda fanboy or not. It's not good. And people are like, no, you can get hundreds of hours out of it. Yeah, you can get that out of the first release of No Man's Sky too, but, No Man's Sky was still a better game, even though it had its problems. 76 was not. And I know I never played those two games because it's called reviews and seeing what has come out. And just because you like a game doesn't mean you should support it day one. Because if you support it day one and it ends up being a bad game, then you wasted money. That's how these things work. So yeah, that's pretty much the story. I mean, it's a short story, but I you can avoid a lot of the traps of getting a bad game that it's going to be in your head. It clicks. Like, this game could be bad. Because you see what's been happening. Kind of like how it came become about Anthem. Like, I knew Anthem might be bad. I didn't know it'd be bad on release. Like, everyone's like surprised because you can't build up all these promises and then not have them dash somewhere, because that's what E3 is for. It's not really Electronic Expo. It's more like companies sell you trailers. That's exactly what it is. And this is why you got to be really wary of what people come out with. I just never understood why 76 was treated like it was going to be good. That's the way I saw it. Like I said before, what also to avoid is wait till reviews come out. Because a lot of games come out with not patches released because like companies are whipping their employees to get it done faster. And not faster in a way like Halo 2 was. Because Halo 2 came out like not as it was intended, but it was still a good game because they knew what to leave out and what to leave in, at their employees. Now, if you're given enough time, it could be like Destiny, where they had enough time, but Activision said, no, you're going to do this instead. Or when it comes to Anthem, it was actually BioWare that was the culprit, not EA, which was like, not EA was blameless in that, but still, it's really weird. You don't know what's going on inside the company at the time. And you kind of have to get some knowledge. Don't be you can't be blind to these sort of things when a game comes out. Because if you think that the game might be bad, wait, okay, just wait. Because I'm excited for myself. I'm excited for Elden Ring. Because it's From Software. From Software is usually very good about their releases, and they take enough time, like with their games, but not too much time. That gives them the freedom just to relax and do whatever they want, until it comes down to like a year later. I'm like, oh man, we got to get this game done. Not like that. But I'm excited for that game because they've been consistent, with their game releases, all that stuff. Even Bloodborne, when it came out, had horrendous loading times. But they fixed that, They fixed it, and they realized they made a mistake. But still, it was a good game regardless of that. Will I still have played it? Not as much, but they fixed it. They knew they did something wrong. I'm not saying they're, again, blameless, because they're not. I bet if you go back far enough, From Software have done something incredibly wrong. But, you just have to be careful about what games you buy, and what games you will enjoy. Because if you're the game you enjoy, it doesn't really matter. Like, if you enjoy 76, you enjoy 76. But if here's the thing though, if you enjoy a bad game, just say it's a bad game. There's nothing wrong with that. If you enjoy a bad game, there's nothing wrong with that. Red Asphalt, bad game. I enjoy it. I played it for hours. The bad game. But yeah, there are bad games that people just enjoy. You know, that's just the way it is. But still, you can't. These companies will lie to you at E3 and lie to you until the game comes out, and then they send out these reports afterwards about, well, there was trouble inside the company. Well, there was. We had to hurry up, and the other company didn't know the codes that we were working with. We had too much time on our hands. You know, and this is why you wait for reviews and just don't buy it day one unless you absolutely know 100% that it's going to be a game for you and it's going to be something you really enjoy to play over and over. Because usually that's what renting used to be for. Because in GameFly kind of fills that need for me. I'll go to GameFly and say, I'll play this game. Like, that's how I got really into Hollow Knight, Sekiro, all that stuff. Because I wasn't sure that I would enjoy Sekiro because I didn't enjoy Nioh, whatever, that other Souls-like game. People say, oh, it's really great. I didn't like it. Didn't like it. Even though it was a Souls-like game. I love Souls. But that's just the way. So I didn't know if I'd enjoy Shadows Die Twice. But I love that game now. Because of GameFly. I wish renting was a lot more popular. A lot more received in the. But it's not anymore. Not like it was in the Blockbuster days. You could just go out and rent a game and for a week, and that was your rent, and that's fine. That's how you get other games. But still, yeah. That's what I like about Nintendo somewhat. Is that they allow you to, like the Super Nintendo channel, you can try games now. It's really cool. Still, yeah, that's all I have to say about that. Just use, like I said, use your head. Less so your emotions for a company. Because even I'm kind of hesitant to buy Elden Ring because they said it was open world. And I don't care for open world games. Assassin's Creed has kind of ruined that concept. But Odyssey's so good. Yeah, sure. Whatever. It's still the same game. But, so yeah. I'll see you guys later. And you have a fantastic day.